Tony here, Psych'd on Baseball Cards. Have some cards for 1965 set, and one for the Topps Living set. And hope everybody's having a good week. And I'll turn the camera around and show you what I picked up. Okay, first up, I have a Topps Living set. Dave Stewart, one of my favorite Oakland A's pitchers. He had 20 or more wins for 4 consecutive seasons. The guy was pretty dominant then. And if you don't know much about Dave, check him out. Next up we have, from 1965, we have Sonny Siebert. Sonny played for 12 seasons, from 1964 through 1975. His first 5 seasons were with Cleveland. Then he had 4 plus with Boston, and his final 2 he played in Texas, St. Louis, San Diego, and Oakland. He was signed by Cleveland as an amateur free agent in 1958 as an outfielder. He found playing in the outfield boring, so in '59 he had 2 injuries which limited his playing time to 61 games in the minors. After recovering from his broken ankle, he was sent to a lower division minor league team and was delegated to pitching batting practice. The pitching coach liked what he was seeing and suggested he become a pitcher. While contemplating a position change for the 1960 season, the NBA St. Louis Hawks invited him to try out for their 59 and 60 NBA season. He worked out with them for 3 weeks and decided to focus on baseball because he felt his basketball skills had declined after being away from the game for such a long time. He had played college basketball for the Missouri Tigers for three years on a scholarship and played baseball for 2 years. He had a 12-year career, as I mentioned earlier, in the majors that included 1 2-hour game. I'm sorry. He hit 12 home runs in his career, and he hit 2 of those home runs in 1 game. He made his major league debut in '64, and he was 7-9 with a 2.323 ERA that season. In '65, he was 16-8 with a 2.43 ERA with 191 strikeouts. He pitched a no-hitter in 1966 on June 10th against the Washington Senators. He was 16-8 that year for Boston with a 2.80 ERA. He also had a 266 batting average with 6 home runs and 15 RBI as a pitcher in 1966. I'm kind of losing my voice here. I don't know what's going on. He was a career 140 and 114 with a 3.21 ERA, 1,512 strikeouts. He also had 16 saves as a relief pitcher and a 32.1 WAR, and he was a 2-time All-Star. He was plagued by injuries throughout his career and probably would have posted even better numbers had he been able to stay healthy. So there you have it, Sonny Siebert. I remember him very well. Always thought he was a good pitcher. Next up, we have Pete Mickelson. Mickelson, or it could be Michelson, but I won't go with Mickelson. He's a right-handed pitcher. He pitched mostly in relief. He played 9 seasons from '64 through '72. His first 2 were with the Yankees, his last 4 with the Dodgers, and in between those 2 teams he played for Pittsburgh and St. Louis. In '65, he was 4-9 with a 3.28 ERA, and he had only 3 career starts in 1960. He had his only 3 career starts in 1965. Yogi Berra stated that without Mickelson, the Yankees would not have won the American League pennant in 1964. He was a career 45-40 with a 3.38 ERA, had 48 saves and 436 strikeouts. Okay, I don't know what's going on today, but I'm having a bit of trouble with this video. Okay, next up we have Yankee rookie stars from 1965. You have Elvio Jimenez, outfielder, and Jake Gibbs, a catcher. Jimenez did not play in 65. 64 was his only season, and he only played in the last game of the season. In that game, he had 6 at-bats and 2 hits. The hit came off of pitchers Louis Tiant and Tommy John. He became a scout in the Dominican Republic for the Dodgers and Red Sox after his career. Jake Gibbs played 10 seasons from 62 through 71, all with the New York Yankees. He played football and baseball at Ole Miss. He was a football All-American in 1960 and won the SEC Player of the Year award. He was drafted in 61 by the Houston Oilers of the AFL and the Cleveland Browns of the NFL, but signed with the Yankees and the $100,000 bonus. In 65, he played in 37 games, had 68 at-bats, hit .221 with 2 homers and 7 RBI. He was a New York backup to catcher Elston Howard. Then when Howard was traded, he became the Yankees starting catcher for 2 years. And then Thurman Munson showed up and he became Munson's backup. After his playing career, he became a basketball coach and football recruiter for the Ole Miss. And then later, in 93, he became the bullpen catcher for the Yankees. And in 94 through 95, he managed the Yankees minor league team in Florida. He was a career .233 hitter. He had 25 home runs, 146 RBI, and a 6.7 WAR. So there you go. Gibbs had a pretty decent career. Next up, we have Gus Triandos. Triandos was born in San Francisco and drafted by the Yankees. He played from 53 through 65 with Baltimore, 8 years with Baltimore, 2 with the Yankees, and 1 with the Phillies, Houston, and Tigers. He hit 30 home runs in 1958 and 25 in 59. In 65, which was his last season, he only had limited playing time. He hit .181 with 2 homers and 7 RBI for Houston. He was a career .244 hitter, 167 home runs, 142 of those were with Baltimore. He had 608 RBI and a 14.1 WAR. He was a 4-time All-Star and is in the Baltimore Hall of Fame. Next up, we have Jimmy Shaeffer. Jimmy played from 1961 through 1968 for 6 different teams as a backup catcher. In 65, he hit a combined 162 with the White Sox and the Mets. And he only had 68 at-bats in 65. He was a career .233 hitter with 11 homers and 56 RBI. Next up, we have another one of my favorites back when I was a kid here. It's Jim Genteel. He was nicknamed Diamond Jim. He was born in San Francisco, played 9 seasons from 57 through 66 for 5 different teams. He was signed by the Brooklyn Dodgers as a pitcher, but converted to first base in 53 while in the minor leagues. And he hit 34 home runs that season. But the Dodgers had Gil Hodges at first base, so they eventually traded Jim to Baltimore in 59. In 65, he hit a combined .243 with 17 home runs and 53 RBI for the Kansas City Athletics and the Houston Colts. I think they were still called the Colts in '63, which was the start of his declining playing time and production. Before '65, he had a 5-year stretch of 152 home runs. 46 of those were in 1961. Also in that 5-year stretch, he had 230 RBI. 141 of those were also in '61. He also hit .302 in '61 and finished third in the MP voting. Guess who finished 1 and 2 that year? He was a career .260, had a 179 home runs, 549 RBI, and a 17 WAR. He was a 6-time All-Star, RBI leader in '61, and he is in the Baltimore Hall of Fame. So if you don't know who had the 1 and 2 spots in the MVP for '61, it was Maris and Mantle, but I'm pretty sure you pretty much all know that. Oops. Okay, last but not least, we have Bob Schmidt. Bob played 7 seasons from '58 through '65. He was drafted by the Giants, and he played his first 4 years with them, and '65 was his last season with the Yankees, and he hit .250 with 1 home run and 3 RBI in the 9 games he played. He was a career .243 hitter, had 39 home runs and 150 RBI. He was an All-Star in '58, which was his rookie season. Okay, so there you have it. Hope you all enjoyed that, and hope everybody has a good rest of the week and a fabulous weekend. All right, so everybody, take care. Bye-bye.